Shoda. My name is Yolanda, OldDwarf Goodvoice. I am a member of the Abzaliga Nation, the Crow tribe, and I currently reside in Billings, Montana. I grew up on the Crow Reservation. My father was a Crow tribal member. His name was Nathan OldDwarf. My mother is Julie Kreisberg, and she is a Norwegian and German descent who grew up on the reservation. Both of them were very artistic. My dad could draw, and he had a very good mathematical mind. My mother was the housekeeper, the homemaker. She cleaned, she cooked, she sewed. She taught me everything she knows. And she was the keeper of our knowledge. She spent a lot of time with my grandmother, who taught her everything that she needed to teach me. So she's like our rock for me and my brothers. I was the third wheel. I'm the oldest. My brothers are twins. So I was their interpreter, and then I was the third wheel. I have always danced. I've always been artistic. I've always been creative. I used to have my head in the clouds all the time. I used to have my face buried in a book, or I was drawing something. I graduated from my hometown, and I ended up being a teenage mother. I was 6 months pregnant at the valedictorian of my small little high school. But that wasn't going to stop me from going after my education. I also grew up around entrepreneurship. My parents owned the only store in Pryor, and then my aunt, and then my other aunt owned a store. So I felt like I was always going to be a business owner. In fact, in college, at the Little Bighorn College, I wrote a business plan that I've actually seen a bunch of people make now. And I decided that, rather than pursue a degree in art, that I would pursue a degree in business, so that when I did decide to go for my art, that I would have the business background. I was a young mother twice over, right away. Graduated with my associates in 2 years and my bachelor's in 4 from University of Montana. When I went back for my degree, I was like, I'm getting that degree. I went back for my master's degree at U of M, and it took a long time. I was working full time. I had my children for the most part, and I was doing the distance learning program, living in Billings and traveling to Missoula. I had a timeline in my mind, but that went out the window when I realized how much work that was, and I got it done eventually. And I did meet that goal of becoming earning my master's, my MBA. I have 4 beautiful children, and when my youngest was born, I had lost my job working for the tribe after over 8 years, and it was devastating. I spent a long time helping other entrepreneurs get ready to start their business. I didn't know what I wanted to do for a very long time, but I knew I wanted to do something with my art. After I lost my job, I had my child, and I fell into the deepest, darkest depression that I've ever felt in. And coupled with anxiety and being alone, thankfully my doctor suggested I start counseling, and I had my little bundle of joy, and I knew I needed to be there for him. And through much counseling, I was going from the deepest, darkest, like, I don't want to feel like this anymore, to finally breathing and finally feeling and finally realizing that I had to be the one to take myself out of that depression. And the counseling is really what helped me start putting my mind right and start seeing my value and start believing that I was worthy of more. From there, I finally started dreaming again, and I finally started planning and living and experiencing life. And I created my business, Sweet Sage Woman, from that. And I created with the intention to to share some encouragement for people who have been in the places I've been. I Every design has something, has some kind of meaning, some kind of intention, some kind of message, and often a lesson for me to learn or that I had learned.